All right, hi third graders. So today is going to be lesson 2 of elapsed time. We are going to go still using a number line as I talked about last week because that's the easiest way and the best visual representation of elapsed time. So we will still use the number line even if it's not on the worksheet that you're going to see. So the first worksheet you're going to see is one that does not have the elapsed time number line. It has a little time clock at the top. And as you can see, it just says the beginning time and end time. So we're going to do a couple examples from that worksheet first. And as I said last week, I still want you to make your number line. Even if you just draw it out on a regular piece of paper, a piece of scrap paper, piece of notebook paper, whatever kind of paper you have laying around, feel free to pull that out and make your number line, just like I did on my whiteboard. So elapsed time today again. So the first problem we have, the start time is 4:55 and we have to end at 5:05. So this one has a short trip. So I have my little board ready. So 4:55, just like last week, we want to get to the closest hour. So to go from 4:55 to the next hour, 4 plus 1 is 5. So we want to get to 5 o'clock. So to go from 4:55 to 5 o'clock is a short jump. It's only 5 minutes. So 5 minutes was our hop, and now we are at 5 o'clock. So let's put that on our number line. So we have a 5-minute hop. And what time did we say we were at? We are at 5 o'clock. So we are going to write 5 o'clock for the time down below the number line. Now we need to go from 5 o'clock to 5:05. Again, that's a short jump. So I have my second board ready for us, and we have to end at 5:05. Right now, we are at 5 o'clock. So to go from 5 o'clock to 5:05 is again a 5-minute hop. And now we are at 5:05. Okay, the same time down here. So now let's put that on our number line. So again, another 5-minute hop. And we arrived at 5:05. Are we there? Yes, we are at the end time. So do we have any hours to add up? Nope, we don't have any hours to add up in this particular problem. So now we just add up our time, our minutes, excuse me. So we have 5 minutes plus 5 minutes. So 5 plus 5 equals, 10. So to go from 4:55 to 5:05, it took us 10 minutes. And this is the visual representation of what we did in each step. So now I'm going to pause it so I can set my board up for the next example. Okay, I have my boards ready for the next example. The next example, we start at 5:30. We start at 5:30 and we're working towards 7:10. So we're going from 5:30 to 7:10. So the very first step, what is our very first step? We want to get to the next hour. That's correct. So 5 is the hour. So add 1 to 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. So we want to get to 6 o'clock. So let's count by 5s from 5:30 until we get to 6 o'clock. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 30 minutes put us at the next hour, and 5 plus 1 was what? 6. So now we are at 6 o'clock. So let's plot that on our number line. So we have a 30-minute hop, 30 minutes, and we said our time was what? Yes, 6 o'clock. Are we there yet? No, we're not quite there yet. But now we're on the hour, so now we can jump a little bit easier to the next hour. So if we're at 6 o'clock, so we're at 6 o'clock now. So if we want to add 1 to 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. So we can add an hour hop because 7 o'clock is still before 7:10. So we can add an hour hop. So here's an hour hop. And what time did I say? 6 plus 1 is 7. So now we are at 7 o'clock. Are we there yet? Nope, not quite yet, but we're really close, aren't we? Yes, we are. So now we need to go from 7 until 7:10. And just like last week I told you, some of you can probably just say, yep, I automatically know that that is 10 minutes. Because from 7 o'clock till 7:10, the minutes kind of give it away. Tells us it's going to be 10 minutes after the hour. Well, if you still want to do the picture representation, that's perfectly fine because I'm always asking you to prove it. So this is how you can prove it. So right now we're at 7 o'clock, so I'm going to put the dotted hand in there to show where we're at on our number line. We're at 7 o'clock. So now we have to go from 7 o'clock to 7:10. Let's count by fives. 5, 10. How long did it take us to get from 7 to 7:10? 10 minutes. And now we are at 7:10. Are we there? Yes, we are. But let's put it on our number line to show the whole thing. So now we have a 10-minute hop. And what time did we say we were at? You got it, 7:10. So now, what is the next step that we must do? Well, we have to add up our time. That's right. So do we start with the hours or minutes first? Do you remember what we said last week? Hours. You got it. Okay, so let's add up our hours. I only see the 1 hour. So we have 1 hour. And now we have to add our minutes. We have a 30-minute hop and a 10-minute hop. So let's write it up here. If you can't do it in your head, that's just fine. 0 plus 0 is 0. 3 plus 1 is 4. So 30 plus 10 is 40. So we took 1 hour and 40 minutes to get from 5:30 to 7:10. So these two examples are pretty much like last week's where we were at the most by 5 or 10 minutes. Well, now the next couple examples after I get my boards reset are going to be to the minute. So these ones are a little more advanced. They're a little bit more difficult, but I know all of you can do them if you just follow the step-by-step approach that I have laid out for you. So I'm going to pause again just to set up my board so then we can do a couple examples from the next activity. Okay, we are all set up for our next couple of examples. This is the activity paper, the worksheet that you'll find that I have attached to the Google Slide. So this one, I was able to find one that did go by the minute, and it does have number lines for you, so you can use the number lines there if you print it out. Otherwise, again, if you don't print it, that's just fine. You can just do them on a piece of scrap paper, and it'll work out just perfectly. So elapsed time on the number line still, and this time to the nearest minute. So this is a little more advanced. It is a little bit more difficult, but again, if you take this step by step, I know every single one of you can handle it. Not a problem. So the very first example says we're going to start at 2:53 and we're going to end at 4:28. So I set up my little clocks. This one says 2:53. So we need to get to the next hour. So 2 is the hour in 2:53. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So we want to get to 3 o'clock. So we want to get that minute hand to the 12. That puts us at 3 o'clock. So now we're at 53. So now we have to do 54, 55. So that's 2 minutes. And then 55 to 60 is 5 minutes. So 5 plus 2 is, you got it, 7 minutes. So it took us 7 minutes to go from 2:53 to 3 o'clock. Let's put that on our number line so we have it, our visual representation. So we went from 2:53, we did 2 1-minute hops, 1M, 1M, and then we did a 5-minute hop. So we can't write all those little times down in there, so we'll just add the 7 minutes. That puts us, when we added the 5-minute hop, that put us at 3 o'clock, which is what we have on our little board. So now we're at 3 o'clock, and we have to get to 4:28. So can we hop by an hour? You're right, we can, because if we add 1 to 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, and 4:28 is after 4 o'clock, so we can add 1 hour. So let's do that. So we're going to add an hour. What time is it now? Well, 3 plus 1 is 4, so it's 4 o'clock. Are we there yet? No, we're not there yet, but we're getting closer. So now, and again, if you know that 4:28 is 28 minutes after the hour, you could just make one hop and make it 28 minutes, and that's just fine. But if you're not sure, then you can always plot it out on a little clock. So right now, I'm going to draw in my dotted line for where we are. We're at 4 o'clock, and now we have to go around to 4:28. So let's count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. But now we have to count by ones. 26, 27, 28. So 28 minutes after 4 o'clock puts us at 4:28. So now let's add that 28-minute hop to our number line. 28 minutes. And we are at what time? 4:28. We are at our end time. So we're there. So are we done? Well, sort of, but not completely. So we've made it to our end time, but we need to add up all of the time that it took us to get from 2:53 to 4:28. So we have how many hours? Just one. So we have 1 hour. And now we have to add up 28 plus 5 plus 2 ones. So let's put 5 plus 2 ones together. 5 plus 1 is 6, and 6 plus 1 is 7. So let's add 28 plus 7. So 7 plus 8 is 15. Put down the 5. Carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. So 28 plus 7 is 35. So it took us 1 hour, 35 minutes to go from 2:53 to 4:28. Excellent. And like I said, if you just do it step by step, it's not hard. You just have to break it down. And that way we can all feel like we can do it, because we can do it if we break it down. Well, let's do one more example, but let me pause and get my board set up, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so I have my boards ready. This next example, we're going to start at 5:41 and we're going to end at 7:26. So I have set up my little board for 5:41. We need to go from 5:41 to the next hour. Well, 5 is the hour hand on our board, so 5 plus 1 is 6. So we want to get to 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is our goal on this little board. So we're going to go from 5:41, 5:42, 5:43, 5:44, 5:45. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. We hopped right there. And now we're on the 9, so we're on one of the 5s, and we can count by 5 from there up to the 12, because we're trying to get to 6 o'clock. So now 5, 10, 15. 15 plus 4, 15. 16, 17, 18, 19. So we are now at 6 o'clock, and it took us 19 minutes. So I'm going to put that on my number line. We have a 19-minute hop. And now we are at what time? You got it, 6 o'clock. Well, we're still trying to get to 7:26. So are we there yet? Nope, not quite. So now we have to go from 6, and we're on the 6 o'clock. We're on the hour, so we can hop by an hour. So if we add 1 to 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. So 7 o'clock comes before 7:26, so we can hop by an hour. So let's go ahead and do that. 1 hour. And what time did we say we would be at? Yes, we are at 7 o'clock. Are we there yet? Not quite. Okay, so now, many of you'll know, to go from 7 o'clock to 7:26 is 26 minutes. But we're going to just count around so we all know how to get there. I just drew in my dotted time because now we're at 7 o'clock and we got to go to 7:26. So we're going to count around 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26. So 26 minutes is our hop to get us to 7:26. So let's write that on our timeline. 26 minutes. What time are we at? You got it, 7:26. Are we there? We are there, we have arrived, but we have to add up our time. So how many hours do we have? You got it, we just have 1. So we have 1 hour and minutes. We've got 26 and 19. I can't do that in my head. I can do a lot of math in my head, but I can't do that in my head. So I'm going to write it down, 26 plus 19. Okay, help me solve this problem. 6 plus 9 is 15. Put down the 5, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. So now we have figured out that 26 plus 19 is 45. So it took us 1 hour and 45 minutes to go from 5:41 to 7:26. Was that so hard? No. And if you did that, that's an advanced skill. You can tell time and you can do elapsed time by the minute if you just lay it out. And again, a number line is the best picture representation of doing elapsed time. You can see it, you can add it up, and you'll get to the right answer every time if you just break it down step by step. So next week, we are going to be starting our couple of weeks we're going to do on fractions. So next week we'll be doing naming fractions, and then after that we'll get to equivalent fractions and reducing fractions and comparing fractions. But we're going to start off with the easier part of fractions at the beginning, so that will be next week. So you can watch for another video next week on fractions. I hope you're all doing well. I sure enjoy teaching you, and I miss having us all together in the classroom. I still am missing my smart board because it would be so much quicker and easier, but we got to do what we have to do. So I hope you're all working on these activities that all of us teachers have planned. Please look to Ms. Hall's Michigan Studies pages, Mrs. Hunt's Language Arts pages. Mrs. Steeman has also put some language arts activities out there for you. There's some mystery science, so there's some science out there for you. Please check out all the pages. Don't just check out my page. Make sure you're looking at all of them so you're getting all of the education that you would be getting at school. You just get to have a little treat because you get to have it from someone besides just me. So stay well, and I will see you on our next Zoom call. Talk to you later.